Morning, students. This lecture we are going to study chapter number 3, Morphology of Reproductive Parts. In this chapter we can study the next point in this chapter, that is flowers. So first we see the introduction and definition of flowers. So see here, flower is a group of reproductive organs of the following plants. It is the most conspicuous, highly attractive and important organ of angiosperms, which is specialized for reproduction. After pollination and fertilization, flowers develops into fruits and seeds. These seeds germinate to develop into a new plants. So we must know the definition of this flower. So here that flower is defined as a highly condensed and modified shoot of limited growth specialized for sexual reproduction, or shoot of limited growth performing the function of reproduction. So this is the definition of flowers. Then after that we must see the parts of flowers. A typical flower shows two main parts, that is floral axis and floral leaves. So first we see the first part, that is the floral axis, which consists pedicel and thalamus. So first we see the first part in floral axis, that is the pedicel. It is the basal part of the axis which is without floral leaves. It may be long or short. A flower with pedicel or stalk is referred as pedicellate. Example, hibiscus, rose, etc. A flower without pedicel or stalk is called sessile. Example, that is tuberose. Then next point, that is the thalamus. Thalamus is the swollen tip of the flower. It is similar to the tip of stem. It has nodes and internodes. It always bears floral leaves on it. The thalamus is also known as a torus or receptacle. Thalamus may take various forms, that is, the thalamus may be conical, which is present in Annona. Thalamus is a disc-like, which is present in citrus. Thalamus is elongated, which is present in Michelia. Thalamus is flat, which is present in lotus, or concave or cup-shaped in nature. Receptacle sometimes enlarges into a axis to which pistil attached in beginning and get separated at maturity. This prolongation of receptacle is called the carpophores. Then next point, that is the floral leaves. Floral leaves are always present in a typical flower, and they are having four kinds, which are arranged on four successive hairs on the thalamus. They are as below, such as calyx, corolla, androecium and gynoecium. So first we see the first floral leaves, that is the calyx. Calyx is the outermost whorl, and the floral leaves of the third whorl are called as the sepals. The sepals together form calyx. The sepals are usually green and leaf-like. They protect inner whorl in bud condition. Example, that is hibiscus. Then next floral leaves that is corolla. It is the second whorl of the floral leaves and are called as petals. Petals attract insects and birds for pollination. They also protect inner two whorls. Example, hibiscus. Calyx and corolla are called non-essential or accessory whorls of the flower. If calyx and corolla and not differentiated forms each other, then they are collectively called perianth. Each perianth lobe is called as tepals, which are present in the tuberose or in the plant of Polyanthus tuberosa. In Marathi, we are always called as Nishigandha. Then third whorl of the floral leaves, that is androecium. This is the third whorl placed inside the corolla. It is male reproductive organs of flower. Each modified floral leaf is called stamens. Stamens are collectively form androecium. Each stamen consists of slender elongated filament. The filament at its apex bears two small bags-like structures called anthers. Each anther is made up of two anther lobes, which are joined by means of connective. Each anther lobe contains two pollen sacs enclosing several pollen grains. Each pollen grain germinates and forms two male gametes. Hence, androecium represents the male reproductive organs of the flower. Okay, then third whorl of the floral leaves, that is the gynoecium. This is the fourth whorl of floral leaves. Each modified floral leaf is called carpel. They collectively forms gynoecium or pistil. A carpel consists of three parts. The basal swollen part of the carpel called the ovary. The slender tube-like part above the ovary is called as style. The tip of the style is called stigma. The stigma receives the pollen grains. The ovary contains one or more ovules. Each ovule produces the egg or the female gamete. Hence, gynoecium represents the female reproductive parts of the flower. There are some plants where calyx and corolla are not distinguished separately, and such floral leaves are called as perianth. Example, ricinus. Second example, polyanthus or tuberose flowers. Then next point in this flower is sexuality of flowers. In this topic we must know complete flower, incomplete flower, bisexual flower, unisexual flower, monoecious and dioecious flowers. So see here that the flower is said to be complete when it has all floral whorls. It is said incomplete when one or more of them are absent. When both stamens and carpels are present and they are functional, the flower is referred as bisexual flower. When one of them is absent, then it is called unisexual flower. The unisexual flowers are either staminate or pistillate. In staminate flowers, only stamens are present. In pistillate flower, only carpels are present. When stamens or carpels are not functional, the flower is said to be neutral. The plant which bears both male and female flowers on the same plant is called a monoecious plant. Example, hibiscus and maize. On the other hand, when male and female flowers are produced on separate plants, it is referred as dioecious plant. Example, that is papaya. Then next point, next topic in this flower, that is the symmetry of the flower. Symmetry is the arrangement of floral members with respect to an imagination of central axis. The number, shape, size and arrangement of floral leaves in a flower determines its symmetry, and on the basis of symmetry flowers are described as actinomorphic flower, zygomorphic flower and asymmetrical flower. So first we see that what is actinomorphic flower. See here that it is also called as regular or symmetrical flowers. In such a flower, all parts of each floral whorls are similar in size, shape and are evenly arranged on the thalamus. Such a flower, when cut in any plane, produces two equal whorls. Such a radially symmetrical flower is called as actinomorphic flower. Example: hibiscus, mustard and vinca. Then second term, that is the zygomorphic flower. So see here, it is also called as irregular flower. Hence, members of different floral whorls are not similar to each other and also not evenly distributed on the thalamus. Such a flower can be bilaterally symmetrical and can be divided into two equal whorls when passed through only one longitudinal plane through center. Such bilaterally symmetrical flower is called as zygomorphic flower. Example: pea and osimo. Then third type, that is asymmetrical flower. These flowers cannot be cut into two equal whorls along any plane. Such flowers are called as asymmetrical flower. Example: canna. Then next topic in this chapter, that is insertion of floral leaves on the thalamus. The floral leaves are inserted on the thalamus in four whorls in the sequence. The mode of insertion of sepals, petals and stamens with respect to gynoecium shows some variations, and it depends mainly on the shape of the thalamus. Based on the relative position of these whorls, following conditions are seen, such as hypogynous flower, perigynous flower and epigynous flower. So first we see that hypogynous flower. In some flowers, the thalamus is swollen, conical, elongated, convex or concave. Normally in these flowers, ovary is placed on the top of the thalamus and the calyx, corolla and androecium are inserted below the gynoecium. In other words, ovary occupies the topmost position on thalamus. Thus the ovary is said to be superior and the flower is hypogynous, which is present in datura, hibiscus and mustard. Then second, that is perigynous flowers. In these flowers, the thalamus is flat or concave. On the margins or rim of the thalamus, it bears calyx, corolla and androecium. The gynoecium is placed at the center of cup-shaped thalamus. Thus, all four whorls are inserted almost at the same levels. The flowers which show such arrangement are referred as a perigynous flower. In such flower, ovary is semi-inferior or half superior, half inferior. Example, that is rose, cassia and bahonia. Then third point, that is epigynous flower. In such flowers, the thalamus is deeply concave or cup-shaped The margins of thalamus grows upward, which completely encloses ovary. The calyx, corolla, and androecium are placed above the ovary. Thus, the ovary is said to be inferior and flower is called epigynous. Example: sunflower, tuberose, strawberry, axora, etc. Thank you.